Hello Taurus, and welcome to your May reading. So finally the month of May, and happy birthday, happy solar return to all of you out there. It's a wonderful time, spring, to just start allowing much more in your life. Okay, so I meditated on your energy and what Spirit wanted to talk to you about. The first card that I have is two cards. It's the Nine of Wands and the Three of Wands. Now, those two together, because the Three of Wands is our capacity to look forward, to look in front of us, you know, what is coming towards us. With the Nine of Wands with it, this is like, what is coming towards me? Another hit? I'm not sure. I am a bit wary about what is coming towards me. And there's a reason for that. It's because I'm looking through my old wounds. I'm looking with the eyes of the wounded healer, Nine of Wands, wounded warrior. Here, after, I have the Tower and the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords, I want you to notice that they are swords in a heart. Swords are thoughts. So yes, these are disappointments and heartaches, but not in the grieving sense. In the sense of my mind can actually go and hurt my own heart. Or I can let somebody else's words hurt my heart. There's a tower with it, because this is a way of doing things. I look in front and I'm like, let's say there's an evening with a gathering and I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna go there, but nobody's gonna talk to me. It's gonna be like every times. And so I'm hurting myself in advance for what is supposed to come towards me. The Tower here, it's kind of an awakening. It's kind of a shock. It is probably because sometimes the divines shows us this in a caricature, in a event where, oh my God, I was so wrong. Now I see it. Now I see that it's very hard for me to have the lightness and just, you know, since we're manifesting constantly, if I manifest out of my fears of what can happen, I'm going to manifest that. So there's this kind of understanding which leads you after to the moon, so that you can go inside of you. Okay, the moon has everything to do with inside. And when we look at it, it's not really a moon, it's an eclipse. The sun is right behind it. So going inside to make the difference between those two. The white wolf, the black wolf, the dog and the wolf, depending of how you read it. But the principle is that I go inside, and then, you know, the little voice which gives me my perception does it come from my ego, or does it come from my higher self? Does it come from my conscious or my subconscious? Your ego, of course, kept all of the experiences that you've had through your life. So, as if I take back my example of that party, if that has happened to you before, well, and kind of to prevent you from being hurt, he's going to hurt you in advance, just so that you're really, you know, padded for it. But that's not how things work. So this is the time to go inside and say, okay, ego, I understand you're trying to protect me, but here I am, my higher self. And I'm going to tell you which one is my truth here. So here, under this and the Nine of Wands, I have the Eight of Pentacles. So that tells me that this comes from not seeing any results in your life. If you're waiting to meet somebody, if you're waiting for a job, if you're waiting for something and you've done your due diligence and everyday work and it's not coming, then the possibility of the past wound kind of is projected in front of you. With it, I have the King of Wands. It affects your willpower. And willpower, we should say, because willpower is often associated with, imposing our power somewhere. But willpower should be called the power of the will. Because your will, if it's not, interrupted by things like that, actually speaks to energy and therefore can manifest much faster. Will over matter, mind over matter, will over matter. These are all things that it's a beautiful fire energy that propulses you and that is essential. So here, that kind of is handicapped because when we look in front, we are kind of afraid to be hurt. The Tower, of course, is going to help to bring that down. So that tells me that this month, what I'm talking about right now is going to become very clear. You're going to see yourself going, okay? And here, under the Tower, I have the Six of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, and the Pope. That's you. But that is also discernment of how we apply our reality, our spirituality into this reality. Which doors do we open? Our discernment. So here, there's the little Five of Pentacles, abandonment ship, lack mentality. I'll be rejected. There won't be enough for me. They won't choose me. I'll be hurt again. This right away would kind of block your heart chakra, okay? Your heart. And so because the Six of Cups, this is a pure balanced heart chakra. In that beauty of giving and receiving with no expectations for free. So that's why the Tower has to break that down so that it gives you back, Knight of Wands, your willpower of, yes, I'm going to dare. I'm going to go out there and just dare and do it. I'm going to go out there and speak to that person without me before, destructing all of the possibilities here that I could be hurt. And that can be affecting your love life, your career. Let's say you wrote a book. Well, you got to meet an editor. Well, if meeting an editor is scary and you undo it like, oh no, they're going to refuse it and all of that, you're not doing it. Or you're doing it from a perspective, a vibration that for sure is going to create this. So the Tower has to come back so that you are going to be freed of that. So that your will here, the power of your will, of your focus, of your fire is unstoppable. So under the moon here, for that, you're going to go inside and then you're going to have to make a choice. Two of Swords, Seven of Swords. You're going to have to make a choice of what is my truth and what is my reality. Is the reality that the universe is somewhere where we get screwed? I have absolutely no power. Any disempowering beliefs, thoughts that hurt me, Seven of Swords, are they true? Is this my truth? Or is there another one? Another one from my discernment, from what the universe in is lightning, and see all the golden nuggets coming down. That's a download, okay? They're in the shape of the letter Yod here, that is kind of like this. And every letter in Hebrew has a meaning, and this one is the finger of God, giving you a direction that way. That's what it is. And you have the same thing at the end of the path of the moon. there, showering down from the sun. Clarity. So this is going to be for you, Taurus, this month, kind of a two-folding awakening. One big one, probably from a caricatural event. And when I say caricatural event, it's like so big, it's so obvious. And now I see it. And that will push you to go inside and make a choice. And there is that choice here. We have under that the Two of Wands. Make a mental choice of what is my truth. And then where do I put my energy and my fire? Where I've always put it, on my sorrows and my sadnesses of what I've lived before? Or am I putting it, Eight of Wands, into building and creating and playing with the universe and this serendipity? You know, if you have a hard time, okay, of course, now with COVID, social distancing and all of that, but this, it's a retraction of oneself sometimes, of putting the brakes on our expansion because we're afraid to be hurt and to be rejected. Let's clarify this. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. Help me clarify this reading for Taurus for the month of May. Okay, let's look at the Three of Wands and the Nine of Wands, Spirit. Clarify the Three of Wands and the Nine of Wands. I have the Sun. And it opened on Queen of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. So, of course, the Sun is clarity. It's the solar plexus, in a way. You know, Leo. And you have that kid in total faith moving forward into what I want to build and how I perceive. So that tells me, and that's why the sun is coming down on this, and that's why the tower is coming down. Because the sun is yes, the big yes of the universe. But think of how this, when the sun shines on a situation, if there's, you know, shines on something, if there's a shadow that is created because of the sun, well, the shadow is going to become very obvious also. This is what the light does. So here, on your perception of what you want to build, the people building with you, interactions, but in you know, we all have the same goal and we are going to do this together, kind of thing. And the Queen of Swords, she either looks at things from her wounds or she looks at them from her wisdom. But I think you're getting that clarity here, and it's just going to make like, oh, even more. Let's look at that tower and the Three of Swords. So the tower is going to break down those old, yes, going to break down the Five of Pentacles. That's right there. So that you can end, of course. Okay, there it is. Here, it's going to break down the sorrows and the sadnesses that you project in front of you. That you can actually take from what you have lived and imagine it in the future. I'm surprised the Seven of Cups is not there, because this is exactly how it is. And sometimes it can even just stop the capacity of receiving and seeing what is in front of us, because we're just so focused on our wounds and our past experiences. We cannot make a leap of faith. We cannot just trust and be light in life. So the Tower has to break down those 2 5s. And this is for the Tauruses out there that had a lot of pain and a lot of abandonment and feeling that they have to, they gave so much and never received anything, and lost so much. Let's look at the Moon, the Tower, and the 5 of Wands. So when I was saying it's affecting your willpower, the power of your will, it's because this creates your, like, okay, yes, I want to be happy consciously, I want to be happy and expand. But if I believe that the universe sends me all that pain, and I mean, these guys are not very happy there, then my will is like going to not be all agreeing with that. And that might even create conflict outside of me. This is going to be very obvious for you. Let's clarify that 7 of Pentacles. And this month, having that clarity can be, can be the result of a lot of past work that you did on yourself. 9 of Cups, and here I have the 6 of Cups again. Working on yourself to be happy, to be emotionally fulfilled in that sense, to open your heart chakra. So the ones of you, and that's what happens with spiritual growth, is not that beautiful, you know, slow, you know, rising into more and more happy. No, because what happens is, and that's why it's a big awakening here, what is preventing you from attaining your 9 of Cups? And that is when we can get that highest vibration of peace, grace, and happiness, fulfillment within ourselves, contentment. If there's something preventing your heart to reach that vibration, here with the Sun, the sun's gonna shine on it completely. And right now you have Venus in your sign, which is abundance and love. So what is going to prevent Venus to totally be activated in you is going to show up even more until it crumbles. And then you gotta use your consciousness and choose, wait a minute, do I need to hang on to that pain which is preventing me to be completely in my power, or do I let it go and grow to that new vibration? Do I completely clear out my heart chakra here? This is a heart chakra healing. So is the wound my truth, or is the unbounded heart chakra my truth? Let's look at your King of Wands. There'll be some forgiveness also. And forgiveness is has nothing to do with condemning, you know, saying, oh yeah, that's okay, you did that to me, but it's okay. No, it doesn't mean accepting it. Forgiving means releasing it. Okay, this pain will not be mine anymore. I am giving it back to you. I am not looking anymore, because when we're looking for justice, when we're looking for, you know, somebody's gonna notice how much I was hurt, and that's going to, and you know, I'm gonna hold on to my pain. Look what I've went through. Look what I've went through. I went through this, hoping that one day things will be balanced. But as long as we're holding on to this, nothing will be balanced, because we're gonna keep projecting it and creating it. So forgiving is just releasing that pain. Does not mean I accept to live that again. No. And what you did was wrong. But I am not carrying it with me anymore. And that is true justice. An understanding that is going to bring back balance into your life. Because as long as you're holding on to it, it creates a distortion. And here is our Seven of Cups. They heard me. And you see how that guy is looking in front of him, and all he sees are the past pains that he had mixed with his dreams. And it just creates like, you know, emotional fog of what is. Can I trust that person really? Or are they going to hurt me like the others hurt me in the past? So in this case, I might even not go towards them just in case they hurt me. So justice, this is how justice is going to be coming into your life. Not by punishing the ones that hurt you, but by you having the understanding to rebalance your life. Let's look under the Tower, that Five of Pentacles and that Six of Cups. Yes, death. So Tower, death. This is like a complete release. This is, I'm shedding the skin of my old Taurus self, and I am going to become the new Taurus that has a healed heart chakra. Seven of Wands. I will not be resisting anymore. Because the Seven of Wands is, yes, it can be putting our boundaries, or I'm not accepting this anymore, but it's also resistance. If we're afraid to be put downhill, then we will always be on our defensive, because we see the people that can hurt us. But once it's not our reality anymore, then it just becomes obvious within ourselves, and we don't have to use our willpower for that anymore. We use our willpower to attain our goals. So here, transformation, death and the Tower. There's a huge shift for you. I would call this a rebirth. And on your birth month, this is beautiful, because this is really, you know what, it's my birthday, and there is going to be a new me. New sword and wand. How I do things and how I think. It is going to be different. Let's look at that Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is a very free knight. That's free willpower. Not bound by the past or the consequences of the future. He can be in the here and now. Following his will with nothing preventing him from doing it. The Devil and Temperance. There we go. This is the healing of whatever was holding you back. Okay? Page of Swords. I understand it. I get it now. And with Temperance, this is when we attain, see, it has the sun sign on his third eye. And there we had the sun on our wounds there. So that's the capacity to see the bigger picture. I see, yes, what has happened, but I also see the invisible side that kind of created that. And when I say the invisible side, I mean everything that is of the feminine, my vibration, what I allow, how I feel, my perceptions, what I attract. Now I see it. And it is brewing, the two cups here, in this alchemic process of purification of the waters, so that all the pain and the sadness that is in your waters, in your vibration, can be purified. Purified by death, because I am releasing it, and purified because I am rising my emotional consciousness. Let's look at that Two of Swords with the Seven of Swords. Oh, okay. Five of Swords, Two of Pentacles. 2, 2, 2. All right. There's a bunch of other little cards here. But the Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit and the Page of Cups wants to be there. But it kind of open like this. I have to consider that here, those two realities at the end of the month, you might be juggling with. Okay? When we have a huge release like that, it is like shedding a skin. And so sometimes, oh, of course, we're going out of our comfort zone, even if it wasn't so comfortable here. But this is the dance of Shiva. Am I going to let my mind disempower me, telling me that no, your reality is this. This is what you've lived, and this is all there is. All you see is all there is. Am I going to enslave myself to that way of perceiving, thinking, and pattern? Here is the Two of Wands with it. So this is like a big decision. Yeah. Big decision of your perception. Here we have the Queen of Swords again that came with the Sun. Okay. And here is our Nine of Wands that was right there with the Queen of Swords. How do I perceive what is in front of me? See, the Queen of Swords, if she looks at things from her wounds, that sword is a double edge, and she's actually hurting herself as much as she's hurting outside of her. Okay? Yes, she can be very harsh and cruel when she's hurt, but she's hurting herself constantly doing it. Not just doing it, but constantly because of the way she perceives reality. But when she's healed, when she actually let go of it, then she is wise. Then her crown of butterfly makes her see that, yes, this was the past, but this has nothing to do with what can come towards me. I know that the universe is balanced, unless me, the one in power of my reality, says differently. So she will be welcoming, but of course with the sword of truth in front of her, because she will be wise of her past experiences with, people that might not have been so up and up, and maybe even cruel here with this. So this is a big decision for you, Taurus, this month. It was the moon in Scorpio. This can be the full moon in Scorpio. This can be like the following on this, especially that Venus is in your sign. And the full moon in Scorpio was all about shedding the light on what is hidden, what creates conflict within yourself, and what is preventing Venus to be full-blown. And the Seven of Cups that we're seeing is Venus in Scorpio. If there's something that needs to be purified and let go so that she can expand and be happy, it's going to become obvious. And I think you were seeing it, and you got the glimpse of it, you got the clarity of it maybe during that full moon. And during the month of May, it's going to become clearer and clearer. And this is going to be your decision. A solar return decision of what is going to be your reality for the next 20 years. All right? Of course, you can make that decision anytime, but this month, all the energy is supporting you to do it. All right? On this, my beautiful Tauruses, Thank you so much for watching and sharing, subscribing, please. If you want a private reading, there's an email below. You write to me. I will never write in the comments a phone number or something to reach me. There's been some con artists trying to tap in and even copying my name. We live in sad times where human imagination to survive can go that way. But just know that it's just through the email. All right? And so thank you also for the ones of you that gave donations. It helps me more than you think. And of course, new moon, full moon, I do a little ceremony to give you back. And on this, namaste, love and light, and I'll see you next month.